Hey everybody, it is a Blues Day Tuesday. It is Born Again to Live. Life is good. We have Amy and Eric here at Big Blue Wardensville, as well as a special guest.
The fourth member of the Montgomery clan?
Yes.
That graced the seat there, Jonathan Montgomery.
Woohoo! Let's give it up.
Better known as John.
Or Diego.
Diego of the past couple weeks.
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming, John.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, little backstory. We were just ripping up the flooring here at Big Blue, and John was helping.
Yeah.
Because he is ever the helping kid. He is the one that when you need help, you call John, because he's going to come running and literally come running.
Yeah.
He likes to run. So.
In fact, he just ran over to 7-Eleven and got some lovely grape crushes, which are,
Right.
oh my gosh, it takes me back to my childhood, Eric.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, thank you for running that.
Yeah.
Most vital.
That's what I'm good at.
It is, but no, we were, Jonathan has always had a servant heart here. We've always seen it since day one. And I love that he made a comment not too long ago. He said, there's never been Big Blue without a Montgomery involved. And that was goes to your parents and your older brother. And now you, and soon your younger brother will be coming up in age.
Just some I need Micah pops up here, so you guys don't get a break.
I mean, that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing.
Yeah. But you stuck with my dad.
We'll tolerate it. We get you all, so we tolerate that. Love it. So he's a key member of this place. Has been since day one.
Yeah. Got the lights.
Yep. All right, so let's start on Jonathan's journey with God. I know you're young, but you have a heart for God, probably unprecedented for your age. That's the way I put that one. So let's tell me a little bit about how you got to where you're at with him. I know it's transformed in the last couple months and stuff, and so let's go that route.
Well, I've always grown up in a church. My we used to be the worship leader, now the pastor. And my mom was also part of the worship team, and I just always grew up in that. And I've always believed in God, but it wasn't until we went to church camp. My first year, it was Potomac. I don't even remember what they called it, but it was a church camp we went to, and it changed my life. It was the first time I felt the Spirit of God move in my life. And when I say you felt the Spirit, I mean, you felt the Spirit moving to that place. I mean, being surrounded by, it was a big place. There were probably 300 other kids worshiping God. For the first camp, it's a big camp. I mean, packed every week. And that was when I first started following God, not just believing in God.
Okay.
And I went to camp for a couple more years and continued my path, ups and downs. Church camp was always obviously the highs, but I'm trying to think. I was wanted to call. It wasn't until I was probably 12 I'd been praying for the Holy Spirit to hit me, because everyone else that had gone to church camp had been filled with the Holy Spirit, and I saw that joy it hit people with, and man, did I want that joy. I wanted that so bad. And my pastor at my church had been praying for me. Nothing happened. And I remember one church service, this lady, Teresa Ramsey, she started praying for me, and God smacked me with the joy. That's about the only way I can describe it. I'm sitting there praying, and then words start flying out of my mouth, 100 words a minute. You know how fast I can start talking when I get going?
Yeah.
It was like a minigun, and I just went to the back row, and I was dancing, praising God, and that's where I really started going with God. And I started reading my word more, really started getting more into God and wanting to go to church. That's when I had a desire more often to be with God.
Yeah.
And I, through middle school, through all the way up through elementary school, I kept that. Middle school, during COVID, I hit a rough patch with God, and it was dark for a while. And even though I was so Christian, I wasn't following God as closely, didn't have that same fire. I was battling with some sins, and it was a tough part of my life. And I still battle with some of the things I was going through at the time. And looking back in my life, I realized I've been battling with it much longer than I realized. But it was I think it was 3 years ago, I went to a different camp. I had quit going to the other camp for a while. I went to Camp I Run with Amy for a while.
Yep.
And that was amazing. And I loved it there. It's so fun. But then I ended up going to a different camp. And that camp, when I say it was on fire with God, I mean, it was fire. I mean, I remember first year I went, you could physically feel like you were standing in a stream with water up to your waist.
Wow.
It was so heavy. I mean, and it wasn't typical service where you have an adult preaching. The adult would preach, but the people praying for you, they were kids.
Yeah.
The kids would be the ones praying for you. The kids did the laying of hands. Every person that got seen in the spirit was being prayed for by the kids. It was amazing.
Love that.
It was the first time I'd ever seen a fully student-led thing. I mean, there was basically the adults just stepped back and just watched it.
Yeah.
They didn't involve themselves in it. They didn't do anything. They just let us go, and we just went with God. It was first time I was surrounded by people who were on fire for God. Like, genuinely, all the time on fire with God, and it was life-changing. And this past year was my 3rd year, and for the past, before a month ago, for a year and a half, I'd been struggling with depression, really bad. I know a lot of people didn't know that about me. Most people probably still don't know I battled with it because I'm a masker. I've spent my whole life masking emotions from different things I've dealt with. I've had to hide my emotions because I'm an emotional person, but I would get yelled at. I'd get made fun of for my being emotional. So I learned emotions are bad, hide. So I got very good at acting okay. I was always known as the kid who smiled. I'd have dogs say, I know you're smiling under that mask during COVID. I remember one time, this teacher was walking to me and said, I know you're smiling under the mask. If they wouldn't remove my mask, they would see. By my face, I was ready to cry. Yeah. And that was just a normal day at that time. I had been fighting depression so bad. It was an everyday struggle to smile. It got to the point where I gave up smiling. And I just gave up everything. And for a while there, I was self-hating, hated everything around me. And then some things happened and it got so much worse. And from probably the beginning of this 2026 to a month ago, I considered suicide at points. I never told anyone this, but it got that bad and I was considering self-harm. But I went to the camp I was talking about and God got me. And when God gets you, He turns your life around. And I got hit with so much joy. Eric and Amy can attest to that. When I came back from that camp, I was a bubble of joy. I was on that basketball court dancing to music just because I couldn't stop. And after that first week of probably half a week, started questioning, did God change me? And then I went on this mission trip, and that really turned me around again. So right now is probably the best I've been in 2 years. So where I am right now, I'm so much happier than I have been in a long time.
Wow. As a camp person, I love hearing that. I don't care if you find God at my camp or any camp, but it amazes me how many kids. I think when we interviewed Josh Pickett, didn't he say that's where he found God too? He went to camp. He went to church his whole life, but it was at a summer camp. Yes. And I don't know what it is about camp. There's just something there. It's the community. Maybe it's because you're away from all the distractions and all you have is God and each other. I don't know what it is, but no, I'm taking notes about what you said. The worship style was yours. I'm like, okay, we could do some things differently. But no, I think it resonates with what you said, Jonathan, about like you were on this really high, this big joy, but then you're like, like kind of, am I just in some kind of a high, and am I going to come off of it soon and life's going to be bad again, but it's like God kind of, he's been working with you ever since, like as soon as you got back from that camp to go on this mission trip and to just
it was a reminder that it isn't a one-time thing.
Right.
It's going to be highs, it's going to be lows, but God is with me. And that's this mission trip. That's the thing I got out of it. It's not just that it's a one-time experience, but I can have it anytime.
Yeah.
I need the mission trip more than I probably most people realized.
Well, and I think, from, again, you said you're a great masker. I'm sure you went on the mission trip because you're like, well, I'm supposed to. I'm the age where I'm supposed to. I want to make everyone happy, Eric happy, my mom and dad happy. Like, I'm sure you went for a bunch of other reasons, but probably not because you wanted to go. I don't know, but
I wanted the distraction.
Yeah.
That's why I like getting out of my house. I like being outside my house.
Yeah.
But as a person who used to be an introvert, I'm going to use that word, used to be.
Yeah.
I don't like being outside my house, which is weird because I'm happiest outside my house. It's a really weird scenario because most people don't understand it. An introvert doesn't hate leaving the house. They like that seclusion. And just when you're tired of life, it's hard to leave that.
Yeah.
But when you get outside of it, you realize it's better.
Well, and I'm a social introvert. You can be social, but it all boils down to where you get your energy from.
Yes.
And I get my energy from my own thoughts, from my own accomplishments, from myself. Everyone else kind of sucks energy out of me. So yeah, what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I still like to be around people. I just can't be around them 24/7 like a true extrovert, right?
And for me, it's hard.
Yeah.
One-on-one time does not drain my battery with most people.
Right.
I can be one-on-one with just about anyone for probably 2 hours straight. And I feel fine. But the moment you get more than 4 people, it's downhill.
I want to touch on the fact you said you've been struggling and probably nobody noticed. We've been praying for you for a while.
Yeah.
We've known, something's off. I mean, when John chooses to go home, not come back to Big Blue and stuff like that, we notice.
Yeah.
And, but again, that's the grace that God gives you, is that we can't force it. We can just ask God, hey, he's struggling, help him. And so I'm glad you got the answers you needed. And I'm glad they got work in the way he needed to work. But don't think you weren't noticed. It was noticed.
Yeah. It's good to have you back and better than ever.
Yes.
I mean, we talked about this earlier or last week on the podcast, just kind of leading up to the mission trip stories that Eric shared. But I was saying the energy that I felt from you guys on Saturday night, like all of you guys being together, you were just so excited, so loud, so energetic. It was an amazing thing to I remember being like, what did I step into coming into Big Blue? You want to tell us about sort of your highlights of that mission trip?
Yeah. So I went into the mission trip expecting manual labor. That's why I went. I went there because I'm like, I'm good at one thing. I'm good at working hard. That's what I've always been good at. That's what I've always put my mind to. I work hard. That's what I'm good at. That's why I can achieve that gratification from. That's where I get a lot of my energy from. It's from that gratification from others.
Yeah.
And when I went there, I don't think I did a single thing manual labor. I spent the entire time doing more social, food pantries. We did the diaper bank was probably the most manual labor thing.
Yeah.
And I was just socializing with the group. It was a unique experience for me because I learned that I can do just as much through the non-manual things and the more social side of things than the manual things. I never thought of myself as the person who does that.
Yeah.
I thought of myself person who mows the lawn, weed eats.
Yeah.
That's what I've always done here. Hair up the floor. Like y'all calling me for. But I learned that I can just being myself and having that smile. Watching my smile help others was a major thing for me. Because when I'm down there, you see people show up with a straight face, but then they see you smiling and they start smiling.
Yeah.
And we had these little notes. What do they call them here?
Coastal postals.
Coastal postals.
Yeah.
You write little notes about things that other people did that you noticed and you were thankful for. And I think almost every single one of mine mentioned my smile. And one of them said it was contagious. The moment I stepped in the room, there was a different energy and made me realize just how much the simple smile can do. And it made me smile more.
Yeah.
And this, since I've got, like, even after the camp, which I said got hit with the joy, I was smiling around people. But when I was just sitting around, I wasn't, idiot smiling. But right now, I'm biking around town because I like to bike. And every time I pass someone, I'm smiling at them. Like, I can't, normally I have to go, smile, stop, smile. This time, I'm just already smiling at them. And I'm like, it feels good. Oh my God. Just being down in North Carolina, seeing that smile hit other people makes you smile more, makes the next person smile more, makes you smile more. And you realize, man, God is contagious.
Yes.
Yes. And then that was the work side of things. But down there, I learned to be myself. I learned to socialize, which is something I've never done. I think, Blue, you guys know this for a fact. I've always been the guy who kind of sits on the sidelines and sees how things are running and might hop in. Yeah, I join in if I feel like it. Normally, I won't. I would initiate things. I go out of my way to talk to people because they felt like family. By end of day 2, it was literally, I think 10 minutes in, we decided to do church clap. It's church clap. And we all went down to the front. Me and like 2 others went up there. It's me, Samantha, Jaden, and I think Michael went up there.
Yeah.
And we did the church clap, and I don't know what happened, but I said, come on, guys, get up here. I've never been one to do that.
Yeah.
Ever. Day 1, I just got there, and I told everyone, come on, join in. Yeah. And I watched everyone come up front. And
that's awesome.
5 minutes in, the leader, Alex, was able to break my bubble. Never have I seen someone break my social bubble that quickly. I've had so many friends that take at least a couple weeks for me to warm up to. Alex, he broke my bubble in half a second. Never before have I seen someone that just open. He was amazing. And then the people, every single person there became a brother or sister to me. And ask Eric, leaving was the most emotional day of my life. It hurt to leave.
Yeah.
But this time around leaving the place, instead of going back, I've stayed in contact with, we have a group chat now, and I've stayed in regular contact with one of them for the past 4 days, and it's just felt great. And just seeing that I can make a difference without having to work has made a huge impact on me, because I'm used to just being the guy who's told, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Hey, John, help me with this. I'm used to that because I get it from my dad. My dad's a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had the mindset, you work hard, that's what you're good at. But I'm realizing that you don't have to work your tail off to help others. You can just simply smile. You can simply say, have a blessed day, and you can see the change. Because you help someone out, they go, thank you. You smile and say, have a blessed day, you see the whole world light. And that's really, really impacted me past couple days here in town. Seeing people smile when I say, have a blessed day, instead of have a good day.
Yeah.
Have a blessed day has a different tone to it. Have a good day is just like mandatory around here.
Yeah.
I know in some places it might not be mandatory, but in a small town like this, have a good day, that's just mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
Have a blessed day though, that's special. People feel that change, and it is amazing to see. And I love making them smile, seeing other people smile. I've always liked being someone who can make others smile.
Yeah.
If I can make you smile, I'm having a good day. In having the courage to go out of my way to make people smile is something that I haven't been able to do ever. I've always waited on people to come to me, and then I make them smile. I'm able to go to them, make them smile. And it's been amazing. Being able to go out for them, not them come to me. It's been just amazing. I mean, you can ask Garrett. Day 1, probably the first one to have my bubble popped.
Yeah, it was an interesting social experiment. When you throw our 7 kids into a room with there was 32 others.
19 other kids. 19 other kids.
Is it just 19? I thought there was more than that.
There's 36 total.
So,
Minus 19 other kids. All of them, 2 groups, 1 group from Colorado, 1 group from Nebraska. So different cultures completely. But we went in there and man, every single one of those people, every conversation popped my bubble a little more. And by the end of it, I was lucky to have conversations. I came back from Big Blue after a whole week of social activity. I got off the bus. I said hi to my dad. Looked up on the hill next by the church outside Big Blue. Man, there was a friend of mine, Ian Brill. And I said, I want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I paused. And literally, in real time, you could see my face go confused, smile, as I was happy.
Yeah.
I saw people I knew and got happy. Because, like I said, I've been masking it. And masking is draining. It is the most draining thing of your life.
Yeah.
When you put on a mask, people you know drain you more than people you don't know. That's why I've always liked getting out of my house. But seeing someone you know and smiling was such a heartwarming experience. And this is going to be tough to talk about. But just being able to smile at people I know. And like when I saw you yesterday, Amy,
Yeah.
I was so happy. I about cried. I'm not joking. I'm so happy. I'm emotional right now. I've never been this happy in my life. Not after any camp, not after any revival, not after anything. But this mission trip, those people are genuinely my family. They're not like family, they are family.
Yeah.
Not just through Christ, they're closer than blood. And it's incredible. Every single one of those people had their own impact on me. I had kids who I could geek, nerd out with.
Yeah.
And I always had people saying, "Oh, that's so weird." I had someone I was talking nerdy about. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like, "Don't be sorry. Continue."
Yeah.
And that just lit up my world. It was Rona, the one that got maxed out of his bubble.
Wow.
And she got maxed out of his bubble. It was incredible. I mean, how long did you say they talked? The whole?
Oh, they've talked every time we were usually in an hour each way every day. Like
Wow.
I've never
they
seen.
talked for 30 minutes about trees.
Wow.
Yeah.
That should have been up your alley, Mr.
Yeah, they brought me into the conversation. I'm like, no, you're all good. Keep going.
Yeah. So she let me talk nerd for 30 minutes. I had Danny. She let me talk sports, track, cross country. I was able to talk to a couple of the kids about so many different things. Each one, I was able to talk to Dom. I talked to them about eggs. Because I was like, about the poultry capital of the world. Like, do you have any interesting facts? And I just started naming some things. And every time I said something, it's like, it's common knowledge around here.
Yeah.
But they were so interested. And I was like, I'd mentioned how they can't sell double yolks. And it was just,
Yeah.
I was able to just talk. And I wanted to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking, what if I'm oversharing? I was thinking, hey, who cares?
I do think it's kind of funny. We went there to do mission work, but we could have stayed in that church and probably had the same success as what we did.
Yeah.
Because they truly bonded like I've never seen a group of people bond.
Wow.
I've never, the group in Niagara, we got close and we got tight with our people, but never bonded like that. I mean, there
Yeah.
were serious like separation anxiety moments of
Yeah, like
every day 3.
Yeah, day 3, I remember I'd walk around, I'd see someone, and someone would say, it's already this day. And you see everyone in the room get sad, look at the person from another group and want to hug up.
We'll blame Max because he was sitting in the room every night going, I can't believe it's already Tuesday. And we're like, shut up, Max.
Yeah.
I'm that Max. You can't start crying
Here's
now.
the thing, Max said, it's already Tuesday, and everyone got emotional. I'm sitting there like, I'm not emotional. I'm like, huh. By the way, I'm bonding with these people. I thought I'd be emotional. Thursday smacked me.
Yeah.
Thursday, I said, it's our last night. Every time I saw a kid, they'd go hug. People got me like 20 times that night. Every time. My gosh, these people were amazing. I've never been impacted by a trip in my life like I was there. Every person, every adult. We had our own Amy there. Same vibe. Amazing. I had to hug her goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they and like I said, it was a unique thing, and I don't know what caused the bond to be the way it was. If it was the leaders or the place staff, or if it was genuinely just the kids and God.
Yeah,
But it was
it was a waterfall. It was a domino effect, because I think the first thing that happened that caused the first chain reaction was actually Dominic or Dom caused that chain reaction.
when we voted him out.
No. Dom talked to Alex,
Oh.
and in 5 minutes started talking football, and then he got all the whole team would talk to Alex, and we ended up getting church clap going, and then we invited everyone up, and then from that, and then I helped one of the girls learn the dance, and then we just the waterfall, and then
Yeah.
you learn one person's thing, you learn two people's names. I'm bad with names. I've gone to the same camp for 3 years. I know 5 people's names.
Yeah.
I would there. I know I know almost every name except for I think 2 kids, and I'm still not sure which one's which. But I know I know everyone else, and that's saying something because
Oh man, when they were talking about the Carlys, there's 3 Carlys, and one's spelled with a K, one's spelled with
call it with a K, call it with an I, call it with a Y.
Wow.
And they never separated. They were inseparable. They was always shoulder to shoulder. I remember one day I saw Carly with a K, Carly with an I-E, Carly with a Y, all in a line. I was like, Carly, I went through, I was like, you're Carly with a K, you're Carly with a Y, you're Carly with an I-E. And they're like, yes. I'm like, God.
Wow.
Yeah,
And-
I didn't know no
I was gonna say,
3 Carlys until
You could have just really made it easy. Hey, Carly's, and just walked on by. But way to differentiate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's so
That's how they talked about him too. That's every conversation was, oh, Carly line. I'm like, who?
yeah. Wait. I remember, and then Carly with a Y had a sister, Gianna, who looked very similar to her. They've been mistaken for twins.
Okay.
The only reason I can separate them is because I judge off of cheek and
Mhm.
nose structure, and that's the only difference between them. I'm like, for the first time I've met twins that have a different nose. It's weird. I didn't realize that till this week, but that's how I judge people's face.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, it was definitely an experience.
Yes. Every single one, all 7 of us popped out of our show, except Sandy. She's never gone into a show.
Right.
But
No, that is incredible. Because when Scripture says you don't light a lamp and hide it under a bowl. Like you guys have been those lamps for a very long time, but you have been kind of in the hiding away for a little bit.
Like I said, Jonathan's one of our leaders here, whether he believes that in himself or not. We often look to him to get if we need people to come to events or whatever.
yeah,
And it's always been that way with John. It seems like he's got that ability to lead.
Yeah.
He may be reluctantly do it sometimes, but
hey, that's the old John.
he does have he
Reluctantly.
does have it, and we've seen the ability in him. So I'm glad that now he is tapped into that.
Yeah, and I realized that I am a fun person.
You are a fun person.
I think that's the lesson everybody learned on this truth is if you're yourself, everybody likes you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you try to be somebody you're not, they don't really get along with you.
No, they don't.
So everybody who popped out of that bubble and became themselves came back going, wow, people like me for who I was.
I know. I mean, I was at band practice today, and I decided not to be my, my fake, more serious, more keep to myself side. I decided to be my bubbly, goofy side, and I had people laughing, I had people smiling, and it was just amazing to see. I didn't have people look at me weird. People were laughing with me, not at me, and it was just like, wow,
Yeah.
why did I not do this sooner?
Finally, Eric's goofballness rubs off on everything.
Oh, you're taking the credit for
I
this
was gonna
one?
say-
Yeah. Okay.
You're a weird guy.
You know what? I've given it to him. He's had a huge impact on me. I don't know exactly what moment he started having an impact on me, but probably the day you came to Big Blue. He went to my church at first, and I never really talked to him much. I talked to his son. He came to Big Blue, and I'm like, who's this goofball? Now he's my second dad.
Love it. Well, as somebody that, again, I think we're very similar in some ways, Jonathan, but I always looked at you as somebody, we talk a lot about our true identity in Christ, right?
Mhm.
You struck me as this person, this teen that would come to Big Blue that you put so much weight on your accomplishments and your achievements. Like you would come to Big Blue stressed out about your grades, about band, about cross country. Like you were on this perpetual track to achieve.
Yes.
And I think like just in everything you just said was phenomenal. By the way, I'm like writing notes. Like it feels like God is preparing the soil for kind of what is going to come next. You're getting ready to do your senior year. You've talked about college. You've talked about maybe military service. But I think what you're learning is your identity. As you said, it's not about the works. Like the works are important, but like at the end of the day, it's not about how good the grass looks, how clean the windows are, even like that you gave someone that needed something to eat a sandwich. It's about being there present, like, because Jesus did the same thing. Like, yeah, he might have fed them some loaves and fishes, but he didn't go home and fix up their houses and make everything perfect for them. He was like, I know what you need, and it is joy, and it is love, and it is peace, it is comfort. And like, I think I love that you're kind of learning this balance of what it looks like to really be the hands and feet.
Yeah, because I'm learning that it isn't just doing the work, it's doing the work while also showing it without doing it.
Yeah.
It's weird to explain.
No, it's just being the light.
I had one of the girls down there that actually God gave me a word for her on Thursday night, and it was actually to rest in the Sabbath. And she's looked at me kind of odd, and I said, no, God doesn't need you doing anything, doesn't need you stressing over what's next. He needs you to just rest in him. And she just kind of, wide-eyed looked at me and was like, I've never heard anything like that. And then she later, I needed to hear that. And I'm like, well, that's kind of what I had. Yeah. I'm sorry. It wasn't like this groundbreaking, you're going to do amazing things. It's stop.
Yep.
Stop and just say, God, I'm yours.
Yeah.
And it was mind blowing to somebody to get just stop.
Yeah.
God just needs you to be.
Yeah. Because it's not often that you get told you need to stop working. You're always told you need to do this. You need to be.
Oh, yes.
But when you realize just relaxing and being yourself makes more of a difference than anything you will ever achieve.
Yeah.
And that's just an amazing. My dad's been preaching that for years, and it somehow never kicked in. Speaking on how you brain won't process information until way later.
I got one question for you.
Yeah.
This goes all the way back to your beginning. When you went through your most difficult time, did it coincide with Ben's difficult time?
Actually, it came after.
After, okay.
Well, yeah, it was. I was going through the difficult time started before I knew Ben was having a difficult time. So
I just wondered if you did or not. I really wanted to follow that earlier.
Yeah.
I forgot. So
well, Ben started going through this difficult time before anyone realized he was going through it. He did the same thing I did in masking, but the difference is he masked for so much longer that he started earlier and he ended up breaking sooner. That mask, when it broke, when your mask breaks, you can't put it back on. Because when you lose that energy to mask, you realize they've seen it, who cares? Because before I went on the mission trip, that face started going back on. You could probably see it on the ride to North Carolina. I was sitting back there just,
the ride to North Carolina, everybody was on their headphones, earbuds, whatever, and zoned out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was actually doing a good bit of talking on the way there. Like after I slept, obviously, but like I was talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm being social and stuff, but I wasn't in a good mood. I wasn't okay. I was kind of in a slump. I was like, I just came back from camp. I thought I had this joy. I thought I was over the depression, and I was just feeling terrible. But I don't know what happened.
God did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just been incredible to realize I don't have to be the best.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm not gonna I know what's caused my mindset of wanting to achieve it. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I know what caused it, and I've always tried to achieve something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what it was, but there's been something I've always tried to achieve, and I've always struggled to reach it. I remember it was after regionals at track. I told someone that I had a 12 something, which was my PR. I got so excited. And then I learned I had a sub 12.
Wow.
It was pointing like 5 seconds faster than I thought I had. But I came down, I was all excited. I was like, I did this. And he's like, be quiet. Shut me down. And I'm telling you right now, that moment broke me so much. I never realized, at that moment, I realized that's what I've been doing my whole life. I've spent my whole life trying to do this one specific thing, get this one specific validation I struggled with. But right now, I'm realizing I don't need that validation. I don't need that because I'm neat. I mean, I try not to cry because it makes it unclear to what I'm saying, but I'm realizing I've worked my butt off my entire life. I've done sports with my maximum effort, never slowing down, running through so much physical, mental pain. I remember one cross-country practice, I was crying my eyes out, and to the point where I physically could not run. But people saw me, and I always run ahead, and I got so far ahead that I could cry, just so I could cry, without people seeing me. And when they called back up, I started running again. And it's not clicking until now that I've spent my entire life working my butt off so that so that people can say, you're worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm now realizing I already am. And it's weird to say because church service, they say, tell yourself you're worth it. And I tell myself that and I believe it. But I've never truly believed it. I've never truly believed I'm worth it because I'm not the best at this. I'm not the best at that. I don't have the fastest times. I'm not the best in the state. I'm not the smartest in anything. I'm not on my track for this. And I've always said, you're just a failure. But now I'm realizing if I'm a good person and I'm following God and I'm doing God's work, what else is there? And it's weird for me to say that. This is my first time in my life I've genuinely been okay with not having to fight for a goal, not fight to be the best at something. It's amazing.
It's freedom, Jonathan. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
It's freedom. You are loved. You are perfect. You're forgiven. You're all those things, and you don't have to do a darn thing. You don't need a single medal to tell you that. And that just, man, that feels good.
I wish I'd have had that kind of wisdom at his age.
No kidding, Eric. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm still not as far along the track as you are.
He's 17 years old, guys, and I was 38 before I came to Christ and before I found that joy. So, yeah, we're not letting him get back on that bad path. He's going to stick there forever, and we're going to do whatever it takes to hold him up. So,
It's incredible.
Awesome story, buddy. Awesome that you got to be on that trip, and I'm just grateful that you're here and grateful that you're in my life.
Yes.
I'm grateful with both of you on my life.
All right, yes. That's a good news.
I mean, it's been an amazing Blues Day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our family.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing, Jonathan. We love you so much.
All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow.
Bye.